Hello and welcome to the PACE System Implementation webinar series. My name is Rajiv Talreja and I'm excited to take you through this journey where in a step-by-step manner, through a practical system, we're going to help you build a win-win-win business. Remember, the objective of everything that we do is to build a win-win-win business. Like we shared with you in the previous webinar, win-win-win is an amazing opportunity for any entrepreneur and any working professional to come together and build a business which can make sure that the aspirations of the customers, aspirations of the team members, and aspirations of the business owner are taken care of. So my invitation to you is to play fully through this webinar series and take action one step at a time along with your team to be able to build a win-win-win business. Think about it. All of us dream of a workplace where we love coming to work, we love doing what we do, and we love the people with whom we are doing it while we are being rewarded well for what we are doing. Our intention is to create that kind of a workplace. It's the most obvious thing that all of us want. Now, how do we get that? We get that by truly coming together and creating massive value for our customers so that our business can grow, and only when the business grows can the business fulfill the personal aspirations of team members and the personal aspirations of the business owner. So keeping in mind this process, I am excited to take you through today's webinar where we're going to be talking about creating the business aspiration goals for your business. In the previous webinar, you worked on personal aspirations where you understood each other's personal desires, personal goals, and personal purpose of what drives you to achieve what you want to achieve. Now that we've understood and established what are each and every one of your personal aspirations, the next step is to create business aspirations so that we can focus and come together on building the business to reach that level so the business becomes capable of fulfilling all our personal aspirations. So are you excited to take this journey today with me on creating and designing your business goals in a manner where you build a win-win-win business? If you're excited, turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, I am excited. Wonderful. Before we begin today's webinar, let me give you a snapshot of how this entire PACE system implementation webinar series is going to work. What we are going to be doing through this webinar series is we are giving you a set of 12 videos along with a task after every video. Now this is video number 2 today. So let me show you what is in store in this journey of 12 videos that you're going to be receiving from us, and what are you going to be doing and working on as a team to be able to build this win-win-win business. Now to build this win-win-win business, we are using a system which is called as the PACE system. The PACE system is your management system in your business. You're going to use this system to set goals, to track goals, and to achieve goals. And the PACE system has 5 stages in it. The first stage is called the aspiration stage. This is the stage where we understand your personal aspirations and we design the business aspirations. The previous video was part 1 of the aspiration stage, and today's video is part 2 of the aspiration stage because we're going to design your business aspiration goals. After the aspiration stage, we're going to move to the analysis stage. In the analysis stage, you're going to receive 3 videos. The first video is around problem listing, where we will analyze what can come in the way of you achieving this aspiration goal. Once you do the problem listing exercise, then there are 2 videos around root cause analysis, and you will use the tools we teach you to find out at the core, at the bottom level, at the root cause, what is stopping you from achieving your business aspiration goals. Then from there, we go into the awareness and action planning stage. Now the awareness and action planning stage are 2 stages that work simultaneously. And what we will give you there is a set of videos to get aware and create an action plan on the role clarity for each and every one of you, on the competence development plans for each and every one of you, on the culture creation for you as a team so that you can come together and play together, and then from there close on action planning 4 quadrants which are necessary for every business. And then finally we will move to the 5th stage, which is called the achievement stage. In the achievement stage, we're going to give you 3 videos where you're going to learn a system called as the STOP system, which will help you achieve the goals that you've set for yourself. So in a summary, what I want you to understand is this. The first 9 videos of the PACE system, which is the first 4 stages, aspiration, analysis, awareness and action planning, are just preparation to make sure that you are ready to achieve those goals. The actual management of your business starts, and the actual measurement towards your action towards the goal starts when you go into the achievement stage, which is stage number 5, which is video number 10, 11 and 12. So we're going to take you through this process one step at a time, 1 week at a time. All we need for you to do is to play the game along with us, and we will handhold you to build a win-win-win business using the PACE system. So are you excited to take this journey? If you are, turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, I am excited. Wonderful. So with that, let's get started with today's agenda, which is creating your business aspiration goal. Like I said this, in the previous webinar, we spoke about personal aspirations, where you understood that at the end of the day, win-win-win is a powerful philosophy of building any business. It's a great way to fulfill each one of our aspirations, our customers' aspirations, our team members' aspirations, and the business owners' aspirations. Now we do this by coming together and we set aspiration goals for ourselves as to what would we love to achieve, what would be challenging and inspiring for us to achieve. Now this is where in the previous video we also shared with you the 3 approaches to goal setting in life and in business. The reactive approach, the limitation goals approach and the aspiration approach. Now we all agree that it's about playing the game using the aspiration approach, where we disconnect ourselves from our past and our present and we focus on our future and go after what we would love to achieve. We've already covered this in the previous video. From there you went into creating the personal aspirations of every team member and you shared your deeper purpose with each other. Now it's time for us to move to the second step in the aspiration creation stage, which is creating the business aspirations. And in today's webinar, I'm going to give you a scientific template of goal setting in business, which will allow you to set holistic and powerful goals. Here is my promise. At the end of today's webinar, once you do the exercise of business aspiration creation as a team, you will realize how simple it is to grow the business and how we've been setting goals which are incomplete, because of which we are not able to grow the business. So are you excited to learn how to set holistic and powerful business aspiration goals? If you are, one more time, turn to the person next to you, give them a high five and say, I am excited. Wonderful. Now before I give you the scientific template, let me tell you a small story. Let me narrate a story to you from the game of cricket. Now those of you who are in India, you know cricket is religion here. But those of you who are not from India, cricket is a sport that we in India treat as religion. And I have not just been a fan of the game of cricket, but I have been a student of cricket where I learn leadership and business lessons from this game. Now I'm going to share one story with you from the game of cricket, which will allow you to reflect on what is the approach you need to take while you're setting your business goals. So let me give you a little background. Back in the year 2003, there was the World Cup of cricket which was played in South Africa. Now the Indian cricket team qualified to the finals of the World Cup, and this had happened after 20 years. 20 years before 2003, in the year 1983, India had won the World Cup for the first time in the game of cricket. So after 20 years, when the Indian cricket team qualified to reach the World Cup final, the entire nation was excited. We almost felt like it was destiny's call to bring the Indian team after 20 years into the World Cup final, and we believed that we stood an amazing opportunity and an amazing chance to win the World Cup. Now India was playing against Australia in this World Cup final. The World Cup final was a 50-over game where each team gets 300 balls to bat and they have to score the maximum amount of runs. Australia went out to bat first and they put up a mammoth total of 359 runs in 300 balls. Now, we as Indian cricket fans believed that we genuinely stood the opportunity to defeat that score based on the quality of batsmen we had on our team. We had the best batsmen in the world on our team. We had the legend Sachin Tendulkar. We had the most aggressive one-day cricket player Virender Sehwag. We had a classy batsman named Rahul Dravid. We had the prince of the offside in cricket, Saurav Ganguly, who was also our captain. We had the aggressive Yuvraj Singh on our team. And we believed that if Australia can score 359 runs, with a batting lineup like ours, the Indian team could definitely win the World Cup by chasing this target down. But here's what happened. India did not even get close to 359 runs. The entire team got all out for 282 runs. Now, as Indian fans, we were all disappointed. But here's something that I noticed 1 week after the World Cup final. There was an interview of our cricket captain, Saurav Ganguly, on one of the sports channels. Now, there was a commentator in the newsroom who was asking the questions, and the Indian cricket captain, Saurav Ganguly, was answering these questions. So the commentator asked Saurav Ganguly one question. He asked him, Saurav, what did you discuss with the team during the World Cup final match in Johannesburg, South Africa, when you saw the target of 359? What did you talk to the team in the dressing room during the lunchtime when you saw that you were against such a formidable target? Now, these were Saurav Ganguly's words. Very innocently, Saurav Ganguly responded to the commentator saying, you know what? We all know you cannot chase 359 runs in 300 balls. Yes, you heard that right. The captain actually told the entire team that achieving that target, chasing that target of 359 runs is not possible. And he told the team, let's go out there and give our best. But we know that we cannot chase 359 runs in 300 balls. Now think about it. The match was not lost when India went out to bat. The match was lost even before India went out to bat. Now the reason I'm sharing this story with you is because now we are getting into the stage of setting our business goals. And in this stage, if you take this approach that you're not going to achieve the goals even before you start playing towards achieving those goals, then let me tell you, the result's going to be same as what the Indian cricket team had in the 2003 World Cup final. Now, having drawn a parallel from there, let me give you another episode which was very interesting in cricket. This was a match again played in the same stadium in Johannesburg, South Africa, but it was 1.5 years after the 2003 World Cup final. And this was a match where South Africa was playing against the same Australian side that defeated India in the 2003 World Cup final. Now, South Africa and Australia were in this high intense battle during that time, and Australia went out to bat first, and they put together a score of 434 runs in 300 balls. Now, 434 runs in 300 balls in the game of cricket is unheard of. It's an unprecedented target set by any batting side. Most people around the world switched off their television sets thinking that this is going to be a one-sided game and Australia are bound to win this match effortlessly. But here is what happened. If you turned on your television sets a couple of hours later, you were in for the shock of your life. South Africa actually won the match with 2 balls to spare and a wicket in their hand. They chased down 434 runs. They actually went on to score 438 with 2 balls remaining in the 50-over match. Everybody was shocked. But here's what happened. There was a presentation ceremony after the game where the captains were invited to speak and give their views on the game. And something interesting happened here. It was the same commentator who 1.5 years ago was in the newsroom with Saurav Ganguly, who interviewed him and asked him that question of what did you discuss with the team during lunch, who was hosting the presentation ceremony after this Australia versus South Africa game. Now, he called the winning captain of Team South Africa, Graeme Smith, to come up and address the gathering at the presentation ceremony. So he said, now let's give it up for Graeme Smith, and the entire audience erupted with a cheer. Graeme Smith walked up, and then the same commentator asked the same question that he asked Saurav Ganguly 1.5 years ago to Graeme Smith now. He asked him, Graeme, what did you discuss with the team during lunch when you saw the target of 434 runs? What did you tell the team in the dressing room? And these were Graham Smith's words. This is what he said. He said, all the senior players got together, we looked at the pitch, and we told ourselves, this pitch is different. So this is what we discussed during lunch when we saw the target of 434. We told our team just one thing. This pitch is a 475 runs pitch. So Australia is actually 40 runs short. Now I want you to think about it and digest that one. The team believed that they're going to win. The captain believed that no matter how high the score was, it was still achievable because the pitch was beautiful to bat on. Now think about it. The difference in the approach, the difference in the conversation made the difference in the way they played the game and the difference in the result. Sourav Ganguly in 2003 went and told his team, we cannot make this happen. And that's what happened. Graham Smith, on the other hand, actually told his team that, you know what, Australia is 40 runs short. He didn't focus on the fact that it was a mammoth total. He just focused on the fact that the pitch was great and the team was great, and they believed that they could go out there and win and chase that score, and they actually did that. Now, why am I sharing this with you? I want you to take Graham Smith's approach while chasing that business goal that we are going to be creating today. Because I want you to remember this line from Henry Ford. He said something beautifully. He said, whether you say you can or you say you can't, both ways you will prove yourself right. Which means when you're setting goals for yourself and you tell yourself you can do it, you will give instruction to your brain to figure a way out to getting it done. But if you set goals and deep down inside your conversation with yourself about that goal is that we can't do it, then guess what? You've hypnotized your brain to figure a way out to not do it. So whether you say you can or you say you can't, both ways you are right. So be careful on what you say, and not what you say to others, what you say to yourself deep down inside. Come in with this approach knowing that we have a scientific system which you can use in a step-by-step manner to achieve whatever goal you want to go after. Having said that, I want you to play fully in today's webinar by setting goals that are challenging and inspiring, by setting goals that are outside your comfort zone, by setting goals that you would love to achieve. It does not matter whether right now you know how to achieve it or not. Go after what you would love to achieve, and through this process of coaching, we will handhold you and help you figure out the how. So tell the person sitting next to you, focus on the what, we will figure out the how. Come on, say that. Focus on the what, we will figure out the how. Now, having said all of this, now you are ready to get started with the approach of business goal setting, and now is where I'm going to teach you how to set holistic and powerful business goals which will make sure that you take your business performance to a whole new level. So let's get started with that. Now, first thing I want you to understand is that there are 5 parameters of setting a business goal. Most business owners and team members just set business goals on one parameter, which is the financial parameter. Most organizations and businesses just set financial goals like what is the revenue or sales that they want to achieve and what is the profit margin that they want to create. According to me, this is incomplete, because what I want you to understand is this: financial goals are just a desire that you would like to have. But to achieve those goals, you need to set goals in certain other ingredients and parameters that will prepare you and make you achieve the financial goal. So financial goal is just one parameter, and only setting goals on financial parameters is incomplete. I'm going to teach you 5 parameters today. So make a note of these 5 parameters, because these are the 5 parameters on which we are going to be setting goals to set holistic goals in our business. The first parameter is financial goals. The second parameter is customer focused goals. The third parameter is functional goals. The fourth parameter is team focused goals. And the fifth parameter is learning centric goals. Write this down: financial goals, customer focused goals, functional goals, team focused goals, and learning centric goals. Now, if you actually see these 5 parameters, you can subconsciously start connecting the dots. To achieve the financial goals, you need to achieve customer focused goals. To achieve the customer focused goals, you need to achieve the functional goals in your business, because the functions in your business need to be functioning so that your customers' objectives are met by your business in a holistic manner. So to achieve financial goals, you need to achieve customer focused goals. To achieve customer focused goals, you need to have clear functional goals that you need to achieve. And to make sure that you achieve your functional goals, you need to achieve your team focused goals. And for your team focused goals to be achieved, you need to achieve learning centric goals. So it's a connected map that I'm going to draw out for you today of goal setting and goal achievement, which will put you on a path to take your business performance to a whole new level. So let's go deeper into understanding what does each one of these parameters mean and how we can set these goals for our business. So firstly, let me give you some samples of financial goals in business. Make a note of these samples. The first type of financial goal can be increasing your revenues. Now this is where you're setting goals on increasing your sales, your order booking. So increasing revenue is one financial goal parameter. The second financial goal parameter that you could set is increasing profitability. Now please note, I am saying increasing profitability and not increasing profits. Profitability is a percentage, which means if you're selling something for $100 and you incur a cost of $80 in producing that good or service, then your profitability percentage is 20%. And if you're setting a goal on increasing profitability, you may set a goal saying, you know what, we want to increase profitability from 20% to 35%. So we are talking about increasing profitability as a percentage. When your revenues increase, your profits automatically increase. But increasing profitability is a different ballgame altogether. So that could be your second parameter of financial goals. The third parameter of financial goals could be improving cash flows. I see a lot of businesses suffering with this challenge of lack of liquidity in their business, and that's why this could become a critical parameter. It could be for whatever reason, because your receivables are still outstanding and you've not gotten paid for the goods and services that you've already delivered, or it could be that you've not planned your expenses well and you've exceeded budgets without any backup for yourself. So improving cash flows could be a goal that you could explore in financial goals. The fourth type of financial goal is improving personal income. This could mean improving the salaries of the business owner or the team members. So these are four types of financial goals that any business could have. So here's what I'm going to recommend that you do. I need you to select 2 financial goal parameters which we will work on in the next 1 year. The one parameter which is mandatory for any business that we are coaching to select is improving revenues, which is increase of revenues, that is that top line and sales. So I need you to create a goal which is outside your comfort zone, something that is challenging, something that's inspiring, something that you would love to achieve, but is something that you've never ever achieved before for the next 1 year in the parameter of increasing revenue. Apart from that, I give you the freedom to choose any one other parameter. It could be improving profitability, improving cash flows, or increasing personal income. You choose any one other, not all of them. I know you would love to have all of them, but I want you to choose one more apart from increasing revenues, because it's a game of focus and prioritization. Now, also to comfort you, I want you to know this. You focus on 2 parameters out of these 4, it will naturally have a ripple effect on the other parameters. But it's important for us to prioritize, and therefore I insist that we work on only 2 financial goals for the next 1 year, increasing revenues being one, and any other one which you think is relevant, which is challenging, and which is inspiring for your business. I'm repeating myself. Choose what is challenging and inspiring, and create a goal which is outside your comfort zone, yet something that you would love to see happen in your business. That's the key of creating aspiration goals. If it is not outside your comfort zone, then it is not aspirational. And if it is not something that you would love to achieve, then obviously it's not aspirational. So create goals which are challenging and inspiring. So you have 2 financial goals that you will work on: increasing revenue and any other one of your choice. From there, we go to the second parameter of business goals, which is customer focused goals. So I want you to make a note of this list of different types of customer focused goals. Here's the first one. The first type of customer focused goal is establishing a new product line. Now, what do we mean by establishing a new product line? Now, this could be a goal relevant for some of you where you may want to do research and development of a new product, market that product, and make sure that there is proof of concept that there are people willing to buy that product, which means that you've established a new product line for yourself. So establishing a new product line includes R&D, marketing and generating leads, and sales conversion so that you prove to yourself that the product line is established. That could be one customer focused goal. The other customer focused goal could be exploring new products. Now there's a slight difference in languaging here, but there's a huge difference in action. Establishing a new product line means R&D, marketing and sales of that new product. Exploring a new product line means purely R&D. Now some of you may feel that you may require the next 1 year in just doing R&D. If that's the case, then you pick exploring new product line. But if you feel you can do R&D, market the product and sell it to prove to yourself that the product line is established, then you pick established product line as a parameter in customer focus goal. The third type of customer focus goal could be exploring new markets. Now, exploring new markets may have two meanings again. First one may mean exploring new geographies for you to do business. You may be doing business in one particular city. It may be that you may expand to other cities or one particular country, and you may want to explore new geographies and new countries. So exploring new markets could mean exploring new geographies, or it could also mean exploring new customer segments. Now I have seen some businesses which are focused on providing their products or services to a particular segment or industry. Like for example, if you're in the chemicals business, you may be supplying chemicals purely to the pharmaceutical industry. Now it could be possible that the same chemicals that you provide to the pharmaceutical industry may be relevant for being supplied in the food and beverage or in the fast moving consumer goods space. In that case, exploring a new segment would mean to go beyond the pharmaceutical industry where you're supplying your products and services and exploring new industries, new segments like the food and beverage space or the fast moving consumer goods space. So that could become exploring new markets for you. So that's the third parameter. The fourth type of customer focused goal is building a magnetic brand. Now let me explain what does building a magnetic brand mean. Building a magnetic brand means that you've done enough marketing and built a brand persona and a recall value in your target customer's mind in a manner where you're generating enough number of leads so that you can achieve your revenue aspiration goal effortlessly. That's the stage when you can say that you are a magnetic brand, when you become the number one provider of your products or services in the minds of your customer. So building a magnetic brand is a powerful customer focused goal to have. The fifth type of customer focused goal is providing high quality products or services. Now this is an operational deliverable, but it is customer focused, where you are setting goals for yourself on the standard of product or service that you want to deliver to your customer. That's why it's a customer focused goal. And the sixth type of customer focused goal is creating customer success stories. This is where you are creating measurable success for your customers. And this may be relevant in certain industries only. Like for example, if you are a doctor, then delivering high quality of service may not be a relevant goal for you, because how do you prescribe a high quality medicine? It's not about prescribing a high quality medicine, it's about healing the patient. So for you, creating a customer success story in the format of number of patients healed after one visit may be a relevant goal. The same goes for a trainer or a coach. It may not be about delivering high quality service. It may be about the impact, the measurable impact that you've created through your work. Therefore, creating customer success stories will become a goal that is relevant for you. Now, I have shared with you 6 different types of customer focused goals. What I want you to do is this. I want you to select any 2 types of customer focused goals which you will focus on over the next 1 year. Again, choose what is challenging and what is inspiring for your business. What is required for your business which is outside your comfort zone which you would love to achieve. Pick only 2. So let's review those 6 types of customer focused goals again so that you pick only 2 which are challenging and inspiring to work on over the period of the next 1 year. The first one is establishing a new product line. The second one is exploring new products. The third is exploring new markets. The fourth is building a magnetic brand. The fifth is delivering high quality of products or services. And the sixth is creating customer success stories. So out of these 6, pick any 2 which are challenging and which are inspiring for you to work on in your business to be achieved in the next 1 year. Now what you will start noticing is this. To achieve those financial goals that you've created, if you start seeing the connection, the customer focused goals are very, very critical. So unless and until you do not achieve the customer focused goals, achieving the financial goals may not be feasible. That's why I call this method of goal setting holistic, because we are not just focusing on a number and telling ourselves we need to work hard towards that number. We are actually giving ourselves clarity of to be able to achieve that number, what are the other areas where we need to achieve certain goals which will ensure that we achieve our financial goals. So that was the second type of parameter in goal setting in business, which is customer focused goals. Now let's understand and learn the third parameter of business goals, which is functional goals. Write this down. It's called functional goals. What are functional goals? Well, a business is like a wheel which has spokes. Any business has 7 functions, which means no matter what business you are in, these 7 departments or functions are relevant to your business. Let us understand what are these 7 functions of any business. The first function of any business is marketing. And the objective of marketing as a department or a function in a business is to generate leads. What does leads mean? Leads are prospects, are inquiries who are interested in our products or services. So the goal of marketing is to generate leads of prospect and interested customers. Then from there comes the second function in any business, which is sales. The goal of sales is to generate revenue. So sales takes the leads generated by marketing, closes the lead into a deal, converts them into a customer and generates revenue from it. So the goal of sales is revenue generation. Then comes the third function in any business. Once you've closed a customer, then we go into the third function, which is operations. Now, operations may have different departments under different businesses. Like for example, if you are in manufacturing, under operations you may have various departments. You may have procurement to purchase the raw materials. Then you may have production to convert the raw material into finished goods. Then you may have maintenance to maintain your machinery and your facility. You may have packaging, you may have logistics and dispatch, you may have IT support and after sales services. All of this comes under operations in a manufacturing business. But in a services business, you may not have procurement or production. It may just be service delivery and service feedback. So what I want you to understand is this. Based on the domain or industry of work you are in, your operations will have multiple departments and they will all be different. But the goal of all your operations department is the same, which is to make sure that the customer receives value and the customer is happy. So that is the third function of any business, which is operations, which may have multiple departments. Then comes the fourth function in any business, which is research and development. The goal of research and development is simple. It is to create new products and new services, so you're offering the latest offerings to your customer and you're making more money per customer. Then comes the fifth function, which is accounts. The goal of accounts in a small and medium business is to make sure that there is accuracy of data captured, there is compliance to your tax laws and statutory laws, and there is insight for decision making so that you have data in front of you while you're making decisions in business. That's the goal of accounts. Then comes the sixth function in any business, which is human resources. And the goal of human resources are three things. Firstly, recruitment, to hire the right people at the right time. Second goal of human resources is people development, so that you are making sure that the people on your team are constantly learning, constantly upskilling, so they can take more responsibility. And then the third goal of human resources is employee happiness. Remember, happy employees create a happy customer. So you need to have a mechanism in human resources to make sure your team members are happy. Then we move to the last and final function in any business, which is management. That is the seventh function. And the goal of management again are three things. The first goal of management is clarity, which means it is your job as a business owner and as a leadership team to provide clarity to your team members about where do we want to go, where are we right now, and how are we going to get there. So clarity is the first goal of management. The second goal of management is to accelerate performance. I want all of you to take your hands up and do this. What we can achieve. Everybody do this with one hand. What we can achieve. Now do this. What we are achieving. So you see, what we can achieve in our business is our potential. What we are achieving is our actual performance. Now there's a gap between our potential and our performance. And the job of management is to bridge this gap by training people, by coaching people, by managing them, reviewing their performance, holding them accountable, and giving them feedback. So the way of accelerating performance is to bridge the gap by training, coaching, managing, mentoring, giving feedback, reviewing, and holding people accountable. Only then you bridge the gap. And that's the job of management, which is called performance acceleration. From there, there's a third goal of management, which is strategic growth, which means the management has to explore new opportunities, new products, new partnerships, which have the potential to strategically grow the value and the potential of the business. So strategic growth becomes a management responsibility. Now what I want you to consider is this. These 7 activities of marketing, sales, operations, research and development, accounts, human resources, and management are critical and relevant for any and all businesses. So the key is for us to make sure that these functions are functioning in the right way. Because like I said, business is like a wheel with spokes. And if any of these spokes is broken, then like a wheel, when you ride a wheel with a broken spoke, what happens is that the broken spoke interferes with the other spokes and the wheel loses balance and you fall down. In the same way, in business, if any of these functions are not functioning, then it creates a problem for the other functions and you will see the business loses stability and consistency. For example, if you're not marketing consistently and generating leads, then that affects your sales. And if you're not doing sales, then that affects your operations because you have capacity which is unutilized. So every function needs to function for us to build a stable and successful business. So when it comes to creating functional goals, here's what we need to do. We need to create functional goals where we ensure that these functions are functional. And the only way the functions become functional is when you have a clear strategy, a clear system, and a skilled team in every single function. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick these 4 functions on which we will work through this process of coaching to create strategies, systems, and a skilled team. The 4 functions that we are going to be working on is management, marketing, sales, and operations. So if you are a business with less than 25 to 30 people, then write down management, marketing, sales, and operations, because these are the 4 areas where we will create strategies, systems, and a skill team, which means we will focus on marketing and create a strategy for marketing for your business. We will create a system to implement that strategy, and we'll help you develop a skilled team who can run that system. The same thing goes with sales. We will help you define your strategy for sales. then help you create a system to implement that strategy, and help you develop a skilled team to run that system. So in each function, for the function to become functional, we need a strategy, we need systems, and we need a skilled team. So those of you who are about 25 to 30 people in business, that's your team size. Then management, marketing, sales, and operations are the areas where you need to create goals of strategy, system, and skilled team. But those of you who are more than 30 people and you have different departments and you have department heads for each department, then at a department level, we need to focus on strategy, systems, and skilled teams required to make that function functional. So the goal here is nothing but selecting the relevant departments and then defining what strategy, what system, and what type of skills are required to make sure that that function is functioning. That becomes your functional goals. Now we move to the fourth type of goal. The fourth type of goal is team-focused goals. So far you've done financial goals, you've done customer-focused goals, we just completed functional goals, and now we are going to look at team-focused goals. In team-focused goals, there are three types of goals. The first one is called capacity goals, the second one is called competence goals, and the third one is called cultural goals. Now let's break down what do capacity, competence, and cultural goals mean in team-focused goals. Capacity goals means the number of people required on your team in a particular department and in each and every department. So these are your hiring goals which you need to create based on your functional goals, based on your customer focused goals, and based on your financial goals. You need to ascertain how many people do you need in the relevant departments. That becomes your team capacity goal. Then comes competence goals. Now it's not just about having a certain number of people. Quantity is one element, but quantity without quality will still make sure that you don't achieve your goals. So we need the right number of people, which is your capacity goal, and we need the right quality of people, which is your competence focused goal. This is where you need to articulate which are the areas and departments and activities where you need a second line team of leaders, where the business owner is no longer involved and you have somebody who's committed and is competent in that particular function or domain to be able to handle and replace the business owner. So building a second line team of leaders is one parameter of a competence goal in team focus goals. Apart from that, another parameter of competence goal in team focus goal is to know what are the relevant skills and knowledge required to empower our team members so that they are capable of executing the tasks in their particular role. So knowing what skills and knowledge need to be developed is also a competence focused goal. Then from there we go into cultural goals. In cultural goals, we are looking at improving work environment as one of the goals, where we need to look at erasing any kind of conflicts, any kind of ego battles, gossip, groupism, or politics that may sabotage performance. You know, sometimes you may have the right quantity of people and the right quality of people who have the required competence, the required skill and knowledge to get the job done. But they still don't produce the result because they are stuck in this challenge of ego conflicts and blame game. Therefore, cultural goals at a team level is very, very critical. The other type of cultural goals could be around creating career growth clarity for your team members or creating financial growth for your team members. Think about it. When people are clear about what is the next level for them in their career, then their heart is in the game, and therefore this comes under cultural goals. Or when we financially empower people and value their contribution in the business, then their heart comes in the game and they're willing to play for the next level. So your cultural goals could be around improving the work environment as a team, could be around creating career growth clarity, or providing financial growth to your team members. So you need to go down to the detail of defining what needs to happen in these areas. Now to summarize so far, here's what we've done. We've asked you to pick two financial goals, increasing revenues as one mandatory goal and any other financial goal as an optional goal. Apart from that, In customer focused, again, we asked you to pick 2 parameters out of the 6 types of customer focused goals. In functional goals, I defined for you that if you're a 30-member team or less, then you got to look at management, marketing, sales and operations to create strategies, systems and a skill team to make sure that the function is functioning. And if you're more than 30, then in every department you create strategies, systems and skills as goals that have to be accomplished to make those functions functional. And then we went to team focused goal, and in team focused goal we said that you have to set capacity goals, competence goals and cultural goals. So here you don't have an option, you got to work on all these 3 elements of team focused goals so that you are prepared to make your functions functional, achieve your customer focused goal and achieve your financial goal. So with that, we've covered 4 types of goals in business goals, and now we move to the last and final type of business goal, which is learning centric goal. So make a note of this, learning centric goal. This is the 5th and the final type of goal in your business goals that you need to set. And learning centric goal has 3 types of goals. The first type of learning centric goal is called business functional competencies. Write this down. Business functional competencies. What do I mean by that? Business functional competencies are areas where we need to develop skills and knowledge around the 7 functions, which means if you see that there is a need to develop skills or acquire knowledge for yourself or for your team members in regards to any of the 7 functions, which includes marketing, sales, operations, R&D, accounts, human resources and management, if you need knowledge and expertise in any of these subjects, then that comes under business functional competencies. The second type of learning centric goal is called business domain competencies. Now business domain is different from business function. The 7 functions are common for all businesses, but your domain is different. So business domain competencies are skills and knowledge that you feel are required for yourself and for your team members when it comes to your industry, your product or latest technologies in your domain of work. Let me give you an example. I have someone in our one-to-one coaching who's into swimming pool construction. Now this individual wants to learn how he can attract more customers, how he can get more builders and developers to give him projects, which means he wants to learn how to market himself well. So this will come under business functional competencies because he wants to learn marketing as a function. Let's just say now this same individual who's in the swimming pool construction business wants to learn about the latest products in the market which are available to enhance swimming pools, like for example temperature controlled pools or gym equipment which is used inside a pool. If he wants to do research of that and expand his knowledge and know-how about these things, then that would fall under business domain competencies, because here his interest is in acquiring skills and knowledge in his particular domain. So you need to understand the distinction between business functional competencies, which is regards to the 7 functions, and business domain competencies, which is specific to your particular business, your particular product line or industry and technology. So that's the difference between business functional and business domain competencies. And finally comes the 3rd type of learning centric goal, which is organization development competencies. Now organization development as a subject is something that large corporates include under human resources. But like I said, in a small and medium business, the goals of human resources are restricted to recruitment, people development and employee happiness, which means organization development is relevant only when you suddenly have a massive expansion in the number of people. And what does organization development competencies include? Well, organization development competencies includes skill and knowledge of learning how to create a hierarchy, learning how to create a leadership culture, learning how to create a reporting mechanism, learning how to create your team values. All of that forms under organization development competencies. Now to give you a more detailed understanding of the difference between business functional competencies, business domain competencies and organization development competencies, let me give you 3 different scenarios. Scenario 1, which I already explained. Somebody in a swimming pool construction business wants to learn how to attract more customers, which means he wants to learn marketing. That will fall under business functional competencies. Scenario 2, let's just say in our one-to-one coaching, we have an energy healer, somebody who does distance healing, and that individual wants to learn how to create a spray which is a liquid to dissolve the negative energy in the auras of people. So people can use that spray to spray it around their body and it will dissolve negative energies in their aura. Now something like this is technical in nature and would come under business domain competency. And let's just say scenario 3, we have someone who was a logistics business in our coaching process, and he was a 20-member team, and through our coaching in a span of 18 months he grew from 20 people to 1,349 people. For this individual, organization development competencies would be extremely relevant. So I want you to understand the difference and choose the learning goals for your business based on what is challenging, based on what is inspiring, and based on what is relevant. Ask yourself which departments need business functional competencies, which department needs business domain competencies, and is organization development competencies relevant for you or not? If it is not, ignore it. So I want you to create learning focused goals as well. With that, let's summarize the 5 types of business goals that we have to create in our business. The first one is financial goals. The second is customer focused goals. The third is functional goals. The fourth is team focused goals, and the fifth is learning centric goals. I want you to start seeing the connection. You need to set goals in all these 5 areas, and you need to achieve these goals for you to achieve your financial goal. Now these 5 types of goals are your building blocks for you to grow your business, because without customer focused goals you can't achieve financial goals. Without functional goals you can't achieve customer focused and financial goals. Without team focused goals you can't make the functions functional and achieve customer focused and financial goals. And without the learning centric goals you can't build the team, you can't build the functions, therefore you cannot achieve the financial and customer focused goals. All of these are interlinked. In fact, I look at all these 5 elements of a goal like a tree. Your financial goal is your fruit, and what holds your fruit are the branches, and the branches are nothing but your customer focused goals. If you do not achieve your customer focused goal, you will not achieve the fruit of the financial goal. And what holds the branches is your functional goals, and your functional goals is nothing but the trunk of the tree. So the trunk of the tree is the functional goals, the customer focused goals are the branches, the financial goal is the fruit. Now what keeps the trunk standing and making sure the functions are functioning is the roots, and the roots are your team focused goals. And what ensures that the roots are strong is the quality of your seeds, which is the learning focused goal. So you got to learn to earn, and when you use this format of goal setting, you can work backwards and achieve any financial goal by working on what is the required customer focused, functional goals, team focused goals, and learning focused goals. So no goal from here is impossible. It's a matter of time, because using these 5 parameters you at least have the right direction, you have clarity of what you need to work on, what you need to achieve, so that you achieve that desired aspiration goal in the financial goals. I hope learning these 5 goals has widened your horizon and given you a different perspective on goal setting. People often come back to us and tell us that these 5 parameters of goal setting has given them clarity, has given them direction, and has given them control of how to increase the financial worth of their business. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to use the sample that we've sent you along with this video in the email and set the financial, customer focused, functional focused, learning focused, and team focused goals in your business. What we've done so far is just picking of parameters. You need to make sure that you set SMART goals in all these areas, which means just by saying increasing revenue, you've not set a goal. You got to make it specific, you got to make it measurable, you got to make it attainable, relevant, and time bound. That's what SMART stands for. Now, how do you make it specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound? Is when you define what is the amount of revenue that you want to achieve. When you put a number there, that's when the goal becomes smart. Now, you may have some areas where it is not possible to set a number. Like in team focus goal, if your goal is to build a second line team of leaders, then it may not be possible for you to set a number, but what you can do is identify what are the areas where you want to replace the business owner and write down those areas that we want to replace the business owner in marketing. We want to do 80% of sales should come in a manner where the business owner is not involved and somebody else is doing the sale. Then that also becomes a SMART goal. So a SMART goal can either be a number or it can be a statement which you can measure as done or not done. We've attached a sample of an aspiration goal of a business in these 5 parameters for you to understand how to do SMART goal creation. Remember, what you will create now as a team is version 1, and you will submit this version 1 to your coach, and your coach will guide you and help you make sure that the goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So take the support of your coach and create a SMART aspiration goal in the 5 parameters of business goals that you learned in this video. That becomes your second step, which is creating business aspiration goals. Once you have done that after watching this video, the other thing that you need to define apart from the SMART goals in these 5 parameters is also the purpose of why you want to achieve this goal. I always say this to people. There are times in your life you know what to do, you know how to do it, but you still don't do it because the why is not strong enough. And there are times in all our lives where you know what you want to achieve, you don't know how to achieve it, but your desire is very, very strong. You have a strong purpose behind why you need to achieve that goal. And when you have that strong purpose, when you have that big why, then you figure the how out and you make sure you achieve that what. So apart from creating goals in these 5 parameters, after this video, I need you to also define the common purpose as a team of why achieving this goal is important. Let me give you a story to help you with understanding the power of why. Firstly, why is the why important? The why is important because the why is the fuel that fills us with the energy to take action. And the simplest way to identify your why is by answering this one question: what moves you emotionally? That's the question. What moves you emotionally? What creates that emotion inside you that urges you to take action? And remember this, the word emotion is powerful because it constitutes 2 words: emotion, energy that sets you in motion. Unless and until an individual or a team is not clear about what moves them emotionally, they will not take action on the goals. And that's why I say this, that magic starts where logic ends. Most people live a logical life which ends up being a mediocre life. But people who achieve great things don't go by logic, they go by emotion, because that's where the magic happens. They go after it by emotionally investing in it. Energy that sets you in motion. That's what we need to identify. And how you can identify this is by together discussing what moves each and every one of you individually, emotionally towards that goal. Why is achieving that goal important for you? How does this goal improve the quality of your life and fulfill you emotionally? That's the question to answer. So let me give you a story as I promised. Let's go back to the game of cricket. In the year 2007, there was another World Cup of cricket, and India went to the West Indies to play this World Cup. There were a lot of expectations. After reaching till the finals in 2003 World Cup, the hopes were that in 2007 we could clinch the series and lift the World Cup. But the unthinkable happened. India got eliminated in the league stages by losing to Bangladesh and to Sri Lanka. Now this was unexpected at that point of time because on paper the Indian cricket team was one of the strongest teams of the tournament, and not even making it past the league stages was a huge setback for the team. The fans went crazy. They absolutely lost their mind. In fact, they burnt effigies of some of the players on the streets, painted the homes of the players black on the compound walls. It was a very, very unpretty scenario for the Indian cricket team during that phase. In the year 2008, a new captain was appointed by the Board of Cricket Control in India. They made Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who was a young player, the captain of this team of stars. And when Dhoni took over as captain, they also appointed a new coach whose name was Gary Kirsten, and he was from South Africa. Now, Dhoni and Kirsten had a huge task on their hand. They had to rebuild a dysfunctional team. They had to turn this team around and win back the respect of their fans. And they did what was called one of the golden years of Indian cricket by rebuilding a high performance team, by building a team which walked the talk of winners and lifted the World Cup in 2011. How did they do that? Well, one of the things they did is they did a goal setting exercise along with the entire team, where they asked the team what is an aspiration goal that they would like to achieve. This was a question they asked in the year 2008. And together as a team, they created the goal that they wanted to win the 2011 World Cup, which was supposed to be played in India. Now, when the goal of winning the World Cup was created, it was way outside their comfort zone. It was something that this team had never done. And it was going to require them to completely disconnect from their past, completely disconnect from their present, and transform completely to achieve this goal. So the question the captain and the coach put forth to the team was, why do we want to win the World Cup? They kept on asking this question to the team. And when they were asking this question, like any normal human beings, most of the players were giving logical answers. Some of them were giving logical answers like, we want to win the World Cup in 2011 because we want to showcase to our fans that we are worth it. Now, that's a nice answer, but it's not an answer that moves a person emotionally. So the captain and coach discarded these logical answers and said, tell me what moves you emotionally. Why do you really want to win the World Cup? Still, people stuck by logic. Some people said, well, I want us to win the World Cup because we are a great team on paper and we need to translate that paper potential into actual performance on the field. Again, logical answer. So the captain and coach discarded this answer and said, no, tell us, why do you want to achieve the World Cup? Why do you want to win the World Cup? Why is this goal so important for you? What moves you emotionally to go after such a goal? And then, after hours of asking this question, one player made a statement where he said, I want us to win the World Cup in 2011 for Sachin Tendulkar. Now, those of you who follow cricket, you know that Sachin Tendulkar is that legend who carried the burden of Indian cricket single-handedly for 24 years. And he had never ever won a World Cup in 24 years of his glorious career. And when this player said, I want us to win the World Cup for Sachin, the emotion in the room changed. Because for each and every player sitting there in that room, Sachin Tendulkar was their godfather. Sachin Tendulkar was their mentor. Sachin Tendulkar was that inspiration that led them to pursue the game of cricket. And that was something that was emotionally real for them. To see this man carry that World Cup, which was supposed to be his last World Cup of his career, to send him off in style as a World Cup champion. And that became the purpose that started driving this team towards their path of transformation. Because I want all of you to understand this. For you to achieve that business aspiration goal that you have created today, it has to be something that moves you emotionally. There has to be something that brings the best out of you. And that is only possible when you answer the question, what moves you emotionally? Why is achieving that goal important to you? Because if you do not have a clear why, then you will not play the game. So together as a team, have this conversation at the end of this video. Why is achieving this goal important to us? Because at the end of the day, when you know your why, the how can be figured out. While I'm saying this, I'm not taking away my responsibility of teaching you the how. In the subsequent videos and through the masterminds and coaching, we will help you figure out how to achieve that goal. But what we are saying is to take action on the how, you still need the why. So I want all of you to put your hand on your heart. Put your hand on your heart. Let's do an affirmation statement together. Everybody say this. I focus on my what and why. The how does not even matter. Come on, say it. I focus on my what and why. The how does not even matter. At the end of the day, the game is about being clear about what you want to achieve, and you get that clarity by working on those 5 parameters of the business goal and being clear about why you want to achieve it, and you get that clarity by answering what moves you emotionally, what's the deeper purpose behind achieving this goal. Once you're clear about the what and the why, the how can be figured out. The how does not matter. So with that, you complete the step of creating and defining the purpose of achieving this goal, and you need to do one last thing after this video, which is to name your business goal. I want you to come up with a name for this business goal that you've created. Give it a name which is inspiring. Give it a name which is powerful. Name the goal in a manner where it captures the essence of the purpose behind this goal, and give it one word name. Don't create a sentence, that's not a name. So call it mission dash, fill in the blanks, or operation dash, or project dash. Like I've had people name this aspiration goal as Project Everest, because for them as a team, achieving this goal is equivalent to conquering Mount Everest. Or mission breakthrough, because for them achieving the goal means breaking through their comfort zone and going towards growth. Or Project Freedom, because for some of them it has been that achieving this goal creates the freedom to achieve individual goals, personal aspiration goals for people on their team. So whatever you think is suitable, play with it, be unique. Use the language of English or any local language to create a name for the goal which resonates with everybody, which inspires everybody, and reminds everybody about this goal. So with that, we come to the end of this video on business aspiration creation. Let's quickly review the steps that you need to take action on after this video as a team. In this video, I've taught you the 5 parameters of the business goal. I've also taught you the power of why. Why is the why so important, and how to go about naming your goal with a powerful word which summarizes the purpose behind that goal. So the action that you need to take after this video is, as a team, you need to create smart breakthrough goals in the 5 parameters of business goals. You need to create a financial goal, customer focused goal, functional goal, team focused goal, and learning centric goals, and make sure that they are smart, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. And once you create the SMART goals in all 5 parameters, then you need to define the purpose behind that goal. And let me give you a little assignment. When you're defining the purpose, make the purpose into a statement that could be put on a t-shirt. It needs to be a simple statement that summarizes the common why of why we want to achieve this goal. Why is this goal important for us? I call it the t-shirt test. So make sure you have a purpose statement that can be put on a t-shirt. And finally, name your goal with a powerful, inspiring name which raises the energy of people the moment they hear the name, which gives this goal a form and an identity which we can relate to. So make sure that you take these 3 action steps. With that, we would have come to the end of the aspiration stage. In the previous video, you did personal aspiration. In today's video, you're doing business aspiration, and we complete stage 1 of the PACE system. Once you're done with this, share your business aspiration goals with your coach and receive feedback. Remember, what you're doing now is version 1. So make sure that you collectively as a team work on these goals and then share it with your coach for feedback. With that, this is Rajiv Talreja signing off. I look forward to seeing you in our next video.